Hi, welcome you all for online spoken faculty development program on Advanced Communication Laboratory. Today we will discuss about an augmented experiment, that is design of microstrip patch antenna operating at 2.4 GHz. First we will see what is a patch antenna. Patch antenna is a consists of metallic patches on one side of the dielectric substrate, and while the other side of the substrate is entirely covered with a ground plane. So on one side of the metallic patch, the size of the metallic patch may be of different shapes and sizes, circle, rectangle or a triangle or of any shape on the one side, and other side is entirely covered with a ground plane. We will see what is the advantage and disadvantage of the microstrip patch antenna. The advantage of the microstrip patch antenna is a low profile antenna, it's a low cost antenna, it is easy to manufacture and design, and it is easy to more conformable for the non-planar and the planar surfaces. And it is a ease of integration with active and passive components, and it can be operated over a wide range of frequencies and for wide range of antenna responses in terms of the radiation pattern, gain and polarization, etc. But the disadvantage of the microstrip patch antenna is it's a low efficiency antenna, and it's a low profile and low power handling capacity, and it's a small fractional bandwidth, but it is a high Q antenna with poor polarization purity and poor scan performance, and it offers a spurious feed radiation. The main applications of microstrip patch antenna includes aerospace vehicles, including high performance aircraft, spacecraft, satellite applications, mobile radios, phones and pagers, base stations for personal communication. Large ground-based phased array antennas are the main applications of microstrip patch antenna. And the other wearable applications of the patch antennas, the communication field, games and entertainment field, security, safety, localization, healthcare applications. So these are all these education. So these are the few applications of wearable technology solutions. The antenna can be embedded on any material or the cloth or the communication device, and it can be operated via the wireless. So we'll see the construction and how to design a rectangular patch antenna. So this sample rectangular patch antenna as a book material is a simple topology of a simple rectangular patch antenna. Consists of the metallic patch on one side of the dielectric substrate. Dielectric substrate is selected based on the application that we are going to concentrate. Entirely covered with a metal, and the ground plane is also the same metal which is at the top. So the simplest patch antenna consists of the rectangular metallic plate on one side of the dielectric substrate and a ground plane on the other side of the dielectric substrate. The following are the important parameters that affect the response of the rectangular patch. The length and width of the patch, that is L and W, and thickness of the dielectric substrate, that is small h, and the dielectric constant and loss tangent, epsilon r and the tandem, and the conductivity of the metallic layers constituting the patch. The thickness of the material of the patch of the ground plane, that is very small compared to its wavelength, that is T is far less than lambda. The T is the thickness of the material and the lambda is the wavelength. So the metal thickness must be at least a few times larger than the skin depth. The metallic thickness is smaller than the skin depth. Ohmic losses in the patch and the ground plane drastically reduce the radiation efficiency of the antenna. The substrate thickness h and its dielectric constant epsilon play a very important role in the radiation parameters of the antenna, because the radiation pattern decides the application of the particular antenna. So based on its application, the thickness and the dielectric material has to be selected. So thickness usually varies in the range of 0.002 lambda naught to 0.1 lambda naught, where the lambda naught is the free space wavelength. And the substrate dielectric constants usually available in the market is 2.2 to less than 12, maybe varying from 2.2 to 12. Materials with dielectric constants lower than 2.2 and higher than 12 are also available, but usually are not that common in the commercial design. So available in the market is between the 2.2 and 12. Whatever the material that we are selecting, which will be less than 12. Substrate with low dielectric constants and larger thickness values are more desirable for patch antennas. So such an antenna with the substrate provides a large bandwidth, high efficiency, and when the height increases, the bandwidth also increases. Epsilon r increases, the bandwidth increases. So h thickness and this dielectric constant decides the bandwidth of the antenna. But the disadvantage of such antennas with such substrate is large size, large dimensions of the microstrip line, because the design involves the epsilon or h and also the wavelength. So it will alter the dimension, so the size of the antenna will be high. The analysis methods for the microstrip patch antenna are numerous. So popular are the transmission line method, cavity method, full wave methods. In the full wave methods, using the Green's functions with the method of moments, and the other methods, some numerical simulations are also used. Finite element method, FEM, generally the mechanical that is surface study involves this finite element method, and finite difference time domain method, FDTD, is also one more numerical method, and transmission line methods, TLM, is a method for the theory to calculate what are the field distribution over the microstrip patch antenna. So the transmission line method provides a good physical insight, and it is not very accurate but difficult in model coupling. The cavity model method provides good physical insight, more accurate than the transmission line model, and difficult to model the coupling and more accurate than the TLM. But the full wave method is very accurate, versatile, and very complex. It can handle the single element, multi elements, arrays, couplings. So generally we'll go for full wave methods. So these methods are available in the software packages itself. So designing a rectangular patch antenna involves the calculation of the length and width. So the length and width is the deciding factor, involves the wavelength, and the type of feed has to be chosen correctly. The length and width can be calculated using the resonant frequency. For that, the antenna has to be designed. So the width formula is C divided by 2FR, and inside the root 2 divided by epsilon r plus 1. C is the velocity of light, and FR is the resonant frequency. For example, that we have taken 2.4 gigahertz, epsilon is the dielectric material that we are going to use in the design. So there are some designing factors are most important in designing a rectangular patch antenna. There is large width value result in the high gain and directivity values, but smaller W will result in the small gain and directivity. And if we choose the W is for greater than the L, resonant frequency occurs when it is lambda by 2. That is optimum wavelength lambda by 2. Right? So you should not choose W as a very close to L, because the resonant frequency associated with this lambda by 2 will be very close to the main resonant frequency. In practice, this asymmetries in the feed results excitation of the orthogonal modes, and if the W is closer to L, you will have to use a resonant frequency very close to one another. This essentially will be useless for the dual band antenna. So the patch antennas with circular polarization, the use is the most advantageous, because the circular polarization always will be preferable for a long distance propagation. And for the design of an antenna, the first step is to choose the substrate, then only the length and width of the antenna. So the dielectric constant, loss tangent, substrate thickness, and metal thickness. And the next step is to choose the width of the patch, that is W. We have to bit the flexibility in choosing the W. And we have discussed about what should be the length and width compatible to the optimum dimension. So how to calculate using simple calculators or any coding we can use, and we can fix these formulas in the coding, and we can calculate what is its dimension. Then we can go for any software package or tool. Select an appropriate substrate as a first step, that is thickness and the dielectric constant epsilon r for the design of the patch antenna. So first we'll have an talk about the substrate material. Example, FR4 substrate it may be. So the height may be 1.6 mm available in the market. Metal thickness is 1.4 mils or 35 micrometers. The copper material of thickness is generally like a PCB board. It's a 35 micrometers thickness, and epsilon r is 4.6. Tan del is 0.001 for the material, and conductivity is 5.8 10 power 7 Siemens per meter. And the parameters that we can calculate using the calculator: what is the width, length, and what is the inset formula. I'll show you. The width and the height of the radiating surface is we have chosen for the 2.4 gigahertz. The length and width are equal. By substituting the value, we will get 29.2 mm for 2.4 gigahertz and permittivity of relative permittivity of 4.6. And this is the feed depth that we have chosen. We have selected the inset feed as a method, and what is its position of the inset feed in the diagram, that is x and y we have to design. That value is w divided by 5 is a y, and 2w by 5 is x. So how to create this patch antenna geometry in a particular tool, maybe in CST tool. Here I have chosen an ADS software. In the ADS software, we have to select a new workspace. A sample workspace is chosen, and we have to go for the layout window for momentum realization. You have to give a name for the file, and we have to insert a polygon, or we can draw the rectangles and we can merge. Here I have chosen the coordinate entry and enter the data. Starting with 0, 0 and end with 0, 0, it will give you a polygonal shape of the particular size what we have chosen. Here I have followed a coordinate entry method. So first of all, I have to decide what are the coordinates of the particular design. Then I have to give point by point as a coordinate entry. So if I complete that coordinate entry, it will get a shape like this. And we have to go for the simulation. We have to go to the EM setup of the ADS software tool in the moment layout window, and click the substrate material and give a thickness of the material, whatever the type that we have selected, and we have to give the thickness of the micron, 35 microns thickness, tandle, everything. Then we have to put the feed on which type inset feed, the center point we have to select at the midpoint. Then we have to give a supply for that. So this is the sample it will show in the tool. The top diagram shows the ground plane, and in between dark blue color shows the FR4 substrate with a specified thickness, and over that there is a conducting material. It will go for the simulation. We have to select the operating frequency, then we have to go for a simulation. Here the two points that we have to show, that is adaptive and it is a single point simulation. Adaptive means from the starting frequency to the end frequency we have to supply. Here we have given 2.1 to 2.7 gigahertz as a 50 in between points, and I have designed an antenna for the 2.4 gigahertz, so I can select a single point over here to operate only at 2.4 gigahertz. So I have two scan frequency scan I have selected. One is adaptive, another one is single. Any number of frequency plan we can select, and by adding it. So after that, giving a frequency scan, it will go for the simulation and it will simulate and observe the result. See, the antenna is simulation is created from 2.1 to 2.7 we have selected. In between 2.1 to 2.7 there are 50 points it is located, and it is calculating its Green's function and finalizing what is the S11 parameter. See the if we plot the S11, antenna is a single port device, so our possibility is only we can measure the S11, only the measurement that we can do is S11. So the magnitude in decibels is selected. So, and also we have given a single point and adaptive point, that is we have two frequency plans, adaptive and single. So adaptive operates from 2.1 to 2.7, single operates only at 2.4. We have already know that what is the resonant frequency, 2.4. So we have given as a single point. So in that particular single point, it shows a very deep. So the designed frequency is 2.4. We are exactly getting a good return loss characteristics at the 2.4. So exactly it is nearly 25 dBs, minus 25 dBs, and remaining all frequencies are 0. So it says that when it is less than minus 14 dB, almost all the power will be transmitted at 2.4, and for the other frequency all the power will get reflected back. That is the meaning of this curve. So the antenna operates in a good performance for a 2.4 gigahertz. So this is the main method to identify the antenna which is operating in good condition at a specified frequency, that we can test with practically with the network analyzer also. We will show you a demo how to get return loss characteristics using the network analyzer. But this one we can do with any software tool, or if we don't have any software tool, we can go for finite method, any numerical method we can select, and we can write the MATLAB coding or C language coding, and we can plot the return loss characteristics also. Field distributions we can calculate. And if you want to have an antenna radiation pattern, we can go for antenna radiation pattern from the EM post processing for field distribution, and the points we can specify how many amplitude points and what is the degree, the radiation, directivity, everything we can see from the tool. Is a radiation pattern observed, is a far field cut, and will have an in the ADS data display. It will show the cuts in the H and also in the E plane. So with the finite ground, with the actually the first example is an infinite ground plane. So we can construct the file with the finite ground plane also by specifying the dimension of the ground plane. We can fix the ground plane width and length, and we can again will go for running with the conductor, and operation is a sheet as a conducting material as a copper sheet, and thickness is specified with the finite ground plane. It will show with a different color. So the first is with the black and brown color, copper is at the top, so it has taken the brown color, and the lower side, the other side that we are displaying, that is shows an yellow in color. Again we will go for pointing the port in the inset point feed. Then it shows the port fixation, and discussing with the finite ground plane, it is 2.45 exactly at ISM band. So this is a simple experiment of design of microstrip patch antenna operating at 2.4 gigahertz. We will discuss how to measure the same return loss characteristics, that is S11 parameter with the network analyzer also. Thank you.